you would maybe mistreat him sometimes, or maybe like with things. And now he said you're kind of growing into a guy that shows that he cares and all that kind of stuff. So what has that transformation been like in sort of becoming a leader in the outside linebacker league?
Player development, and like every school talk about it, but when I see it as more from freshman year to like this year, I really can see that like player development is one of your biggest roles, and it shows you from being not just from like a young man to actually being like an adult man as well.
How does the staff here do that? I mean, obviously they put you up X's and O's and all that stuff, but player development, person development, sort of how does the staff try to go about that?
It's not even just more of the coaches, it's from just the ranking bit with your learning specialists and like teachers in the classes you taking from here, like they're going to teach you more on not just like the small thing, but they're going to teach you how to develop as a man and like things after life, like things after college.
Has developing as a man, like has that helped you on the field maybe? And obviously you're off to a pretty good start of the year.
It's a way of connecting and communicating with people, everybody differently, so you have to learn how to speak to other people differently.
Adam, do you think, well, let me ask you first, how do you define an elite defense? And do you think that you guys are an elite defense?
Defining an elite defense, I define it as no miss error. And honestly, I don't see nobody can define herself as an elite defense. You can be a great defense, but from you want to be a elite defense, you have to do a lot of things and commit to a lot of things. So I feel like our defense is great, but there's still things we can work on as well.
Such as what do you see as areas, to get better on as the schedule gets tougher and beyond?
For us, I feel like the main thing is for us is connection, communication. You're staying on top of each other, and from there, that's where you build not just one person diversity, but everybody actually playing all together at one.
Adam, you're on kickoff coverage, are you not?
Yes, sir.
How would you define your attitude to being on special teams, and what kind of attitude do you kind of carry on to the field?
I see special team no different from me just being on defense. You gotta love the sport. So like honestly, like you don't love special team, then you don't love defense. If you can't play on a special team, then you're not helping your team as well. And for me, I feel like defense, and not even just defense, but special team itself. Like I love defense. I love running on kickoff, go knock somebody's head off full speed. So that's what I love about it.
Now, you said preseason you wanted to get 20 sacks this year. What do you like better? The play you made on that first kickoff the other day where you run through a guy and then kind of blow a guy up, or would you rather get a sack? Which one would you prefer to do?
I'd rather make plays on special team. I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's not many opportunity to be on special teams. So when you have your special team opportunity, what you gonna do with that? Because there's like many opportunities you can be on defense and do something, but like when you actually on special team and actually producing your abilities and athleticism, that's what I like about that.
Does a play like that carry over to you on the defensive side of the ball? Like you make a play, you get over, you're real excited. I mean, can you feel that adrenaline, that same juice when you go right back out there and jump on defense and get ready to play?
I feel like who wouldn't, honestly, like me either being on kickoff return or kickoff, like that helped either side of the ball. Like from like even like blocking somebody on kickoff return, we get up the field a little more. Offense, they help and get a touchdown. Me making that play on kickoff allow the defense to like come out with like a little energy, a little more momentum coming at us.
And last year, Vanderbilt canceled a couple of games. Your seniors had a chance to be the winningest group ever. Did they take something away with that? Not getting to play those games, was that disappointing for you guys?
Mostly because the only thing about that is every game help you see where you at. Every game help you like learn to be, to adjust in your ability to what you can do. And honestly, like every game going to show you where you need to improve from.
And then
Adam,
I guess,
I haven't really computed the Havoc numbers the way y'all keep them, but I assume they're through the roof. How's the Havoc report in the defensive room, and how do you feel about how you guys are doing it, affecting quarterbacks, turning the ball over, all that kind of stuff?
I have a rate actually been pretty good, but I want to be great, not good. So honestly, there's still like small things we can work on, like just the missed opportunities that we can work on, like filling in a gap or just hitting something a little faster or so.
and you've been kind of a program guy for the first few years, playing a role, third downs. Now you've kind of evolved into this, I guess, star in the making. Can you talk about the patience and the faith that you had that this kind of season would come for you?
It would never me type of person. Honestly, when you start feeling for yourself so much, I feel like that like eat up on a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people leave and go to places because like they're not getting that certain attention, or they feel like they should get more than what they given. And honestly, I feel like if you young or not even older, like everybody have a role on their team, and most of the time like your role might be small or big, but at the end of the day, what's going to help you win championship?
Adam, obviously your name shows up for like NFL prospects for next year. Did you give the NFL a serious look after last season?
I was more focused on just school itself. NFL is a good thing, but education is seen way more than that. And honestly, just having a degree from University of Georgia, that's like also one of my biggest goals.
Did you feel like you needed to put more on film, get more playing time to kind of be a high draft pick?
Honestly, as again, like all I've seen it as for is really just getting a higher education, being one more year to finish out, actually walk with a diploma. As you say, I got that diploma from the University of Georgia.
Have you gotten any work at the Star yet? I know that was kind of an off-season thing. Kirby was, talking about playing you back there and adding to your roles. Have you gotten to do any of those reps yet?
Here and there, but most of the time they just allow me to play my actual position as outside linebacker.
Adam, what's the difference with you and Nolan this year? Y'all both off to a good start. Is it just the fact that y'all are getting more playing time, more opportunities, or is there something, I guess, tangibly different with the two of y'all this year?
Just hungry. You have something to prove. I have something to prove. We're not just doing it just for ourselves or for the team. We're doing it for like every other dude that stepped in that room. The great players that came out of there, like Dalvin, like Floyd, or like Lorenzo.
Does that I don't know, excite you, or is it pressure? Sort of, y'all two are kind of the leaders of that group now. The Wolfpack, y'all called yourselves for a long time. Like, is that exciting? Is it pressure? Is it both? Or how do y'all approach it?
It's not so much pressure, because you know your ability, what you can do. It's more excitement, a blessing. Like, there's a lot of people out here that wish they could be in that same predicament. So just being able to show what we can do, that's a blessing for us.
You guys kind of feed off each other's energy on and off the field when you guys are kind of cooking?
It always been that way for our room. We love success for anybody. Just seeing everybody, that connection, that growth, just seeing somebody just making plays, not even just like feeling so much or being that me type of person, but actually doing it for not just for them but for the team itself, and just enjoying it. That's what we love about it.
You were asked earlier about elite defense. If I can qualify that for statistically, elite, you guys pay attention to those national stats and where you guys rank, and you're at or near the top.
Honestly, we don't pay attention to that much, really, because like a lot of that time, the people that write that are like people that just sitting around like really doing it or don't know the background of things. And honestly, like the more you look at that, the more you start thinking about yourself. And we around here, we don't think about ourselves. We think about how we're going to improve, not in just like national, but ourselves. Like we trying to improve every day by at least like 1%.
What kind of message, I guess, as you guys continue to play good defense, and what you guys played very well. What is the kind of next step? What can you guys do better? What's kind of been the message so far?
For one, get more turnovers, like that or like interception or so. We're trying to make more habit plays. We're trying to like, how can we help our offense out by getting them on the field even more?
What kind of grade would you give the defense through 3 games, Adam?
Can I say next question?
Next question. So you're saying you wouldn't give yourself an A yet? You think there's this defense can get that much better?
Yes, we can get so much better.
Why do you think that?
Just the strength of our team, the way how we connected, and honestly, just saying like, just a minor like sub that like we like allow on our defense or so. And like most people would say like we actually been doing well, but like to us like there's still things we can improve in.
How about for yourself? I know you had some lofty goals, 20 sacks on the season. How would you assess your play through 3 games?
I feel like that's more a development thing. I feel like as well, like even though I set my goal early in the season, which everybody knows that I set my goal for 20 sacks, and I wouldn't want to push myself for no lower than like 10 or so, because honestly, like if you're gonna put yourself that low, then like you're not really pushing yourself at your maximum. And I felt like at least pushing up to like something like that, cause like even like Jarvis Jones, when he like led the ST in Georgia with at least 14, like 17 sacks or so. So like seeing that type of goal and seeing what he did, and knowing he probably set his goal probably 10, and then to see it in which you're like, oh, I should have probably like set my goal even higher. So like I would never want to see myself and like short myself like that.
Do you think that's a record you could potentially break? I think it's 14 on the season.
Yeah, that's definitely a goal I'm trying to break, and honestly, like I'm excited to see what I can do.
Looks like some of your teammates might be getting to the quarterback before you on some of those plays you might get sacks. Who else has impressed you so far this year with the havoc and with the pressure?
Nolan Smith, my brother, part of my Wolfpack, like just seeing him coming every day, energized, always come with a high motor, and just young and just have so much going for himself. And you know, just having that same person in your room, that you know, just knowing his why, knowing what he want to do, knowing like after school what he want to do and everything, and knowing he doing this like for his mother as well, that just keep you going. That keep your job going.
Does having that 5-star, guys, and you've been through it, having that hang over you a little bit? Whenever, oh, you were a 5-star, you're supposed to do this. He went through that for 2 years, just like you kind of went through. Is that tough? Is that a motivator a little bit?
Honestly, you can be 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. Star don't mean nothing really when like it comes to the field. It's can you produce? Can you actually learn to accept some of these plays? Can you like learn from the meeting room and put it onto the field? And like honestly, like 'cause like you have Jordan Davis, like a 3-star. Look at Jordan, strong as the ox, fast. Like you can't tell me that's not 5-star for this. So the stars don't mean nothing around here.
Did you look at Brett Bowers wasn't actually like a 5, or Brock Bowers wasn't actually a 5-star, but could y'all tell a little early that this guy was ready to make an impact as a freshman?
For me, seeing a tight end that can run as fast as me, because I always thought I was pretty fast. So seeing another person that's like just a combo, so basically like in that same class as us and running and moving, that is different. And honestly, just seeing him just producing like that, even on practice field, like, because even sometimes like he got me a few times.
That tight end room in general, I mean, when Darnell gets back and Fitzpatrick gets kind of lost in the shuffle, but he's pretty good too, right?
Coming in with John Fitzpatrick been the most like blessing thing, because honestly, like Fitz, he always gonna give you the same thing. He gonna give you hard work, encouraging. He always gonna help his offense out, no matter what it is. And just that tight end room itself, like all great player and coached by a great coach, by Coach Hartley. Like he always gonna make sure that like they're putting their hands in the right place. They always gonna give you a great look, because at the end of the day, they're probably gonna be our best tight end that we're gonna see before we even like get into a game situation.
Can you speak to just playing, doing that good on good, a lot of good on good in practice and stuff like that? How much does that help y'all as a defense, knowing that you're going up against offense that you play well?
You see it as if we want our offense to see the best look, then we have to show like how everybody else see us, like the best defense, and the offense gonna have to show us like the best offense, because the more you do good on good, the more it allows you to see like development and see like where your strengths and weaknesses are.
Adam, kind of a random question, but I want to ask you about kind of like recruiting. When y'all have, like the other night, there was a bunch of recruits here, and y'all are playing well on defense. Is that something y'all like take pride in and showing out for recruits or attendance, or do y'all not really think about it much? Or?
I'm far from looking on so much of like what recruits saying, because most of the time I feel like a lot of people, when they see recruits start coming up or so, they start playing different. And honestly, I have nothing to really try to prove to them in general more, but also just prove that like we can do what we can do in general.
Okay, we have time for 2 more questions with Adam. If y'all have any.
You probably already answered this earlier in the questions, but what are some successes that you saw against South Carolina at the offensive line?
Just habit rate. Just saying like the way we would just get after it and just playing the love of the game. And honestly, like just the fact that we can actually produce the habits and actually keep going in the like upper way than just going backward. We're starting to move forward and actually trying to produce more.
Okay. That's all for today with Adam Anderson. Thanks, y'all.